Yesterday, Sayadaw mentioned the word Satipatthana. So, every yogi is familiar with the word Satipatthana. Everyone who practices Vipassana will be familiar, but they may only know the ordinary word Sati in meaning, but they may not know the detailed meaning of it. So, also it is necessary to know how to practice in order to bring up the best quality sati, and there will only be a few who know. In the word Satipatthana, there is the extra word Patthana. So if an extra word is used, the extra word has the meaning that is to be added to the word. So it is necessary to know the Patthana that has a special meaning. So here, sati is not just an ordinary word, but it is used as satipatthana. Among the four fields of objects, kaya, vedana, citta, and dhamma, bodily actions, feelings and sensations, the mind, and the mental objects, among these four fields of objects to be noticed, there are presently arising objects that is arising freshly new. When the object is arising freshly new, in order to be able to notice, ordinary kind of mindfulness will not be enough. And also, sati alone is not enough. In the beginning of the Dhamma talk, Sayadaw also explained the other mental factors that are supporting sati, mindfulness. So in order to be mindful, there should be other mental factors that should be developed in order to develop the outstanding mindfulness. So the sati should be of very good quality sati, and such kind of sati is outstanding sati, which is special from ordinary one. And today, Sayadaw will explain what it means by specially outstanding sati and what is the cause in order to develop the outstanding sati. In order to note the presently arising objects, such as rising and falling of the abdomen, as well as the other objects that are arising at the present moment, one needs to note them with sustained mindfulness. And Sayadaw also explained that yogis should exert ardent effort in the practice. Yogis should always be alert, active. They should not be slow or sluggish in noting the object. So, as soon as the object arises, yogis should note the object right away with aim and effort so that there will be sustained mindfulness. So the yogis need the two factors, aiming directing the noting mind onto the object, and yogis should exert effort so that the no-day mind falls on the object. So in this way, having these two factors, aiming and effort, yogi will be able to be mindful of the presently arising object. Aiming, directing the no-day mind onto the object, the mind will be face to face or direct with the object, and yogis should also exert effort. Noting the object with aim and effort, the no-day mind will not miss the object, but there will be sustained mindfulness on the object, and sati, mindfulness, will become better and better, stronger and stronger, moment by moment, and it will become satipatthana, firmly established mindfulness. Before one practices Satipatthana meditation, or in the beginning of the practice, yogis should understand the quality and the benefits of Satipatthana practice. Buddha himself guaranteed that by practicing Satipatthana meditation, one can gain the 7 benefits such as purification of the mind and so on. The defilements, they are ordinary defilements such as ordinary greed, anger, hatred, aversion, delusion. These are the defilements that are in ordinary form. And also there are extreme form of defilements. They are called visama, as they are extreme. And when there are extreme defilements, there will be selfishness, seeking only for one's own benefit, wanting to gain upper hand of the others. Having selfishness, the person wants comfort and wealth for oneself. The person does not care about others, being selfish, and it is visama lobha, extreme form of greed. If there is selfishness, one will lack metta, loving kindness. Lacking metta, loving kindness, there will be hatred towards others. So, if there is lack of mindfulness, hatred will automatically follow. Not wanting to give up the selfishness, there will not be any forgiveness, any sacrifice. So there will also be cruelty. So based on visama lobha, based on extreme greed, there will also be other defilements arising. Not knowing that visama lobha, extreme greed, is bad, not seeing the flaws of visama lobha, extreme greed, there will also be delusion. Delusion, not clear, confused, and it will also lead to rudeness, and there will also be unruliness, and there will also be ruthlessness. So if these are overwhelming, and if the person indulges in these extreme defilements, then the person ends up committing wrongdoing by body and speech. So if the person indulges in these defilements, the person's body and speech will be impure, and there will be transgressions. So if that happens, it will not be good for the person or the family. If that happens in countries, then the whole world will be burning. And Sayadaw explains that the extreme defilements are the cause that the climate are changing into worse and worse. The climate are getting worse and worse. So in the people, there are ordinary defilements, raga, dosa, moha, which leads to unwholesomeness. And also there are extreme forms of defilements, extreme forms of selfishness. So the heat of these defilements are big. So Sayadaw said, if the heat of the defilements are to be compared to the heat of the sun or electricity, Sayadaw says that the heat of the defilement excels many times than the heat of the sun or electricity. So because of the heat of these defilements, the way that the sun or the moon rotate, or the way that the other planet orbit, become deviated, and they will also be causing climate changes that are getting worse and worse, and there are floods. The weather is getting drier, hotter, the temperature rising, the temperature of the world rising. And also there are other natural disasters that are happening in the world. So if the people are taking measures to correct or to make the climate and weather better, it will not be as effective, as there are ordinary defilements as well as extreme defilements arising in the people. So as there are these defilements arising in the people, there will not be any peace at all. In order to be free from such disaster, the only way is to practice the teachings of the Buddha. So Buddha showed one and only sure way, and Buddha guaranteed that there will be benefits of the Satipatthana practice. Only the Buddha can give such guarantee. No other leader of any other belief can give such guarantee. So by practicing Satipatthana meditation, one will be free from mental defilements. One's mind will be free from these defilements, and the mind will be free from Visamma Lobha, extreme greed, and Visamma Dosa, extreme anger, and so on. Nobody can deny the fact that by practicing Satipatthana meditation, the person will be removing these defilements. By practicing Satipatthana meditation, one can remove these defilements to the point of no return. So one should know the benefits and the qualities of Satipatthana practice. By knowing the benefits and the quality of Satipatthana practice, one will have faith and confidence in the practice. Having faith and confidence in the practice, the person will have wish and will to be peaceful from these defilements, and having the strong wish to gain the peace to be free from these defilements, one will practice diligently. One will be able to exert the initial effort, the step-up effort in order to overcome laziness, and effort stage by stage till one reaches one's goal, so that the quality of Satipatthana practice will be increased. In the benefits of Satipatthana practice, when the first benefit, purification of the mind, is obtained, the other benefits will also be fulfilled. All the Buddhas had practiced this way, this path, in order to be purified. And also Pacceka Buddha, solitary Buddhas, and Arahats all practice the Satipatthana way. So it is the Satipatthana way that are practiced. The Satipatthana way is the one that is always used by all the noble ones. And in this dispensation, the Buddha Gautama himself practiced this way, and the great disciples, Venerable Sariputta, also practiced this Satipatthana way. So, because there are those who practice Satipatthana meditation, the Sasana, the Buddha's teachings, still exist. By practicing Satipatthana meditation, the person changes his or her life totally. And in the future as well, the Buddha, the Pacceka Buddha, solitary Buddha, and the Arahats will practice this Satipatthana way. So in the past, the noble ones have practiced Satipatthana meditation. At the present time, there are noble ones practicing Satipatthana meditation. In the future as well, the Buddhas, the solitary Buddhas, and the Arahats will practice Satipatthana way. So it is one and only sure way. Yogis who are here, they are also practicing this Satipatthana path. So in the beginning, there may be some difficulties in the practice, but yogis have to keep on walking, keep on practicing this path. While having this opportunity to practice, the yogis who are coming from other countries, yogis who are practicing, yogis who have come from all over the world, they are practicing the same path that has been practiced by all the Buddhas, all the solitary Buddhas, and the Arahats. By practicing the Satipatthana practice, one can overcome Vitikama Kilesa, transgressive defilements, Priyuttana Kilesa, obsessive defilements, and Anusaya Kilesa, latent, dormant defilements. So one will be weakening the defilements, and one will totally uproot them by attaining path and fruition knowledge. By practicing Satipatthana meditation, one will be weakening the defilements, and one gains the immediate benefit of the practice. Purifying the mind is the most important benefit. So there are also other benefits. The other benefit is overcoming sorrow. When a person comes across the bad situation or losses, one feels sorrow, one has sorrow. So in order to overcome sorrow, Satipatthana is the sure way that is guaranteed to overcome sorrow. Usually when people come across bad situation, they cannot control their mind and they have great sorrow. Satipatthana meditation can guarantee to overcome the sorrow. So as a human being, in the life of a human being, there is anger, hatred, aversion, and having no patience, no forbearance, there will be anger. So in this practice as well, when practicing, the person who is not acquainted with the practice, after sitting for some time, there will be discomfort in the body, so that the person has to shift the posture. And for the person who does not have patience and forbearance, it is getting worse. The person will feel angry. So in this way, there will be physical suffering as well as mental distress. So if there is discomfort in the body, there will also be mental distress. So physical suffering and mental distress are frightening. So in the human life, if physical distress, physical suffering and mental distress are removed, there will only be good things left. But in order to overcome physical suffering and mental distress, the person cannot do so in other way, but one should practice the Satipatthana meditation as taught by the Buddha. By practicing Satipatthana meditation as taught by the Buddha, one can overcome physical suffering and mental distress. Satipatthana meditation is the sure way to purify the mind, and it is the sure way to overcome physical suffering and mental distress. So the benefit is to purify the mind, to overcome the defilements. So by practicing Satipatthana meditation, one can avoid the defilements from arising. One can suppress and uproot the defilements. So in order to remove these defilements to the point of no return, one should gain the path and fruition knowledge. So in the practice, one should first develop Pubbabhaga preliminary path. By developing Pubbabhaga preliminary path, one will reach the stage of attaining Ariya Magga Phala ஞāna, path and fruition knowledge. So by attaining path and fruition knowledge, one realizes Nibbana. So the benefit of Satipatthana practice is realizing Nibbana by attaining path and fruition knowledge. So there is a guarantee that by practicing Satipatthana meditation, one can realize Nibbana by attaining path and fruition knowledge. No other person, no other leaders can guarantee such benefits. So one should have faith and confidence in the teachings of the Buddha. If the person does not know the benefits of Satipatthana practice, there will not be faith and confidence in the practice. Lacking faith and confidence in the practice, the person will not have the wish or the will to practice, and thus the person will not practice diligently, and the person will not be developing sati, samadhi, and panya, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. That's why it is very important to know the benefits of Satipatthana practice, to have faith and confidence, to have strong wish to practice, and to practice diligently according to the teachings. Buddha himself practiced this way, and Buddha attained the highest state, totally purified by practicing this path. And Buddha said, "Tu mehi kicca matapa." It is you yourself that should practice with ardent effort in order to dry out the kilesa, moisture. Akhataro tathagata. The duty of the Buddha is to lead the way. The Buddha leads the way, and it is you yourself who has to practice with ardent effort in order to dry the kilesa, moisture. By walking, by practicing this path, Patipanda Pamokhanti, by practicing the straight Satipatthana path, one will be free from the bondage of the defilements. Jayino Mara Bandhana, those who concentrate, those who closely observe the object in the practice, will be free from the bondage of the defilement. So it shows that it is not blind faith. It is not just like, have faith in me and I will make you be happy and good. So it is not that kind of guarantee without any practice. So having faith and confidence in the practice, yogi, it is the duty of the yogi in order to practice, in order to dry the defilement moisture. If the person has faith and confidence on other person, other things, the person will not be making his or her own effort. So, depending on oneself in the practice, one will be able to assert effort in the practice, and one has to refrain from things that should be refrained from. If the person relies on others, such as Creator or God, they will not be exerting effort, and their ability will deteriorate. So, if that happens, they will not know what to do, or they will be at a loss when encountering the ups and downs of life. And when they encounter good and bad conditions, they will not be able to have the stamina, and they will end up in suffering. Practicing Satipatthana meditation is not a religion. One has to do research in oneself in the Satipatthana practice. One has to seek the truth by practicing within oneself. So by doing self-research in the way of Satipatthana practice, when coming to discern, it is very satisfying. So, but the Satipatthana practice is not a religion. So, by practicing Satipatthana meditation, one can discern the truth, and by discerning, one gets satisfaction in the practice, purifying one's body, speech, and mind. So in 2009, there was a conference among people of different beliefs, and they nominated Buddhism as the best. So all the other people of other beliefs also voted that Buddhism was the best. They nominated Buddhism as the best because Buddhism has these principles that are good, and one has to accept them only if they understand cause and effect through their practice. So it is not just blind faith. Buddhism is very practical. That's why it was nominated to be the best. So if the person wants to find out why Buddhism was nominated as best, they should be practicing diligently so that they will get the answers by themselves through the practice. And Sayadaw encourages all the yogis to practice diligently so that they come to have answers from their practice by themselves. So among the people who were in the conference, there was one Jewish who said that he cherished his Jewish belief. But before he goes to the Jewish temple, he practiced Satipatthana meditation before going to the Jewish temple. That means that he knew the benefits of Satipatthana practice so that he practiced Satipatthana meditation even though he was a Jewish. So he said this from his experience. So in order to understand, yogis should also practice diligently so that they will also come to accept that Satipatthana meditation is great. So in order to have good quality Satipatthana practice, one should understand the benefits of Satipatthana practice. One should have faith and confidence. One should practice diligently, stage by stage. And one should note the presently arising object with aim and effort with these mental factors so that the noting mind will be concurrent with the object. So yogis should also apply the jhanic factors in the practice so that the Satipatthana practice will become a good quality Satipatthana in their practice. And this will be all for today. Sadhu.